everyone. I am so excited. I am here with Annette Piper today, and we have an exciting program that we are co-sponsoring together. So we're going to sit here and talk a little bit about what's going on, and it is called Get Your Mojo Back in 2015. So, Annette, what is some of the things that are happening that you've noticed in clients' lives that they're struggling with?
Well, energy. That's what a lot of my clients are struggling with. They're saying, I don't have enough energy, I'm lacking energy, I'm out of balance, I need more focus. Everything that I know that comes along with having health challenges, being out of sync with your body, mind, heart, and spirit.
Well, and I've also noticed, too, that clients are really struggling with balance and stress. I mean, I had one client that woke up with Bell's palsy, had been really stressed with family, not eating right, just really struggling. And then I had a cousin, 22 years old, same thing, woke up with Bell's palsy. And Bell's palsy is a virus.
It is. It's like a herpes virus that attacks the body, and it can cause one side of your face to go completely numb and droop, almost like you've had a stroke.
Yeah. And then myself, we go into the holidays, and I have always been feast or famine. My whole life has been about feast and famine. My mom struggled with weight, and sadly, going on 3 years, she died, and her highest weight, she had lost 100 pounds 2 or 3 times in her life, but went back to the same way of eating. And I've done the same thing. I will be, no sugar, really eating healthy for a little while, and then I blow it. And then I eat everything in sight. And so this holiday is kind of like that, and I'm sure that all of you have done the same thing. It's like the hell with it.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Leesa, because that's one thing that's going to be a key component of this training that we're going to be doing is not just a 90-day challenge to get your mojo back. It's lifestyle changes. It's ways to keep from falling back into bad patterns. So it's lifestyle, behavior changes. And once you start feeling good and you start experiencing that new way of being and that energy and that mojo that's lacking in your life right now, then you start to have that internal motivation, that internal inspiration to not return to those feast and famine patterns, those returning to those bad patterns. And it happens to us all. We go through a bad period in our life, and we just, it's like going to the comfort food. And, my challenge has always been Dr. Pepper. That's, some people are alcoholics. They go to the alcohol when they're in a challenge, and some people's chocolate. For me, it's been Dr. Pepper. That's been my challenge. And so learning those lifestyle pattern changes and behavior changes is how we prevent ourselves from falling back into those bad patterns in times of stress.
Well, and I know that I am totally, I tell people I am a sugar addict, and I've never really heard of Candida. And I understand that, when you were going through, with your college degree and so forth, that you did a paper on Candida. And we were talking a little bit about that, and it's like, oh my gosh, maybe there's a reason why it's at feast and famine with sugar, is that because it truly is. I go through cravings, and it's like, I just want to have the bread. I just want to have the sugar. So I don't know if anybody out there is listening can identify with that, but, it gets frustrating because you think, okay, maybe I'm doing better. Maybe I'm doing better. And as we get older on that, and, you've heard people say, I don't know how the weight came on. It just came on.
Yeah.
And now it won't go away.
Exactly. And the reason that I decided to write a paper on candidiasis in college was because I'd suffered from it, and I had gone through the process of ridding my body of the candida. I'd gone through all of those changes and dietary changes to change my all of the problems I was having due to candida. And then along with that, because I helped myself and I studied it so thoroughly, I've been able to help many other people with candida challenges as well as my kids. They both had candida, and candida comes along overuse of antibiotics, steroids like prednisone that are given to you for inflammation problems. Hormonal changes in women can cause problems with candidiasis, and when we don't eat right, all of the sugar in our diet, and there's so many foods that have processed sugar in them that are hidden, so we don't even know what makes this,
I think, different, because there's so many, especially 20, hey, new year, let's go on a diet. We're going to lose that weight. So what is this different than other things that are going on right now?
Well, because we're going to start with a cleanse. So we're going to flush all of the crap out of your system, literally. We're going to detox. Because when you detox, and through the system we're going to be using, you're also going to be clearing the candida out of your system. So there's many ways to detox. There's the master cleanse, which the master cleanse a lot of people use for detox, but it's got maple syrup in it, which is sugar. Yeah. And so it's just going to feed the yeast. So candida is yeast. We have yeast in our bowel flora. It's natural. It's there to actually help you decompose when you die, but nothing's ever been shown why it's a part of our flora now, other than the decomposition. So is part of our flora. But what happens is when you take antibiotics or something, it kills the good bacteria off, and then the yeast starts to grow, just like mold. It's actually a type of mold in our body. Kind of crazy to think about. But we're going to clear that out. And a lot of cleanses don't necessarily do that. And so we're going to focus on clearing out your system, and then start to bring foods back in a healthy way to establish new eating patterns once you've done the cleanse. And we're also going to incorporate exercise and activity. So a lot of people don't like to exercise. So we're going to find what works uniquely for your system and your lifestyle. And that's what's going to be different about this. It's not a cookie cutter plan. Leesa and I are both going to be working with you to make sure that it's unique to your circumstances, your lifestyle choices, but we want to make those healthy lifestyle choices.
Well, and so, some concerns that might, people have, I'm sure. First of all, when we say a cleanse or a detox, first thought that comes to me is, okay, am I going to get sick? Am I going to be sick and throwing up? And I tried one cleanse and I felt like all these flu symptoms. So it's kind of like, okay, am I going to go through all of that? And, is it going to be just really hard to do?
And there's a chance that you may feel some illness when you're cleansing, because as that yeast die off, it creates toxins in your body. And so as the yeast dies, then you've got to flush those out. So you may feel some unwellness for a couple of days, and you may not. But know that you're doing your body good, and it's just a short-term thing, and it's going to change really quickly, and then your energy is just going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
Once you get that stuff out of your system, you're really going to get your mojo back.
Yeah. And I think that we all want that. And so basically share again a little bit about the program and, how long, we talk about 90-day challenge. So are we competing with each other? Why are we calling it a challenge, or what is it going to look like?
The challenge is to compete with yourself and to make those changes. And you can find an accountability partner and compete with someone or challenge each other to reach your goals. But really, this is about challenging yourself to make those changes in 90 days. And so we're going to start off the program by cleansing. And don't worry, you're not going to starve to death in the cleanse. There's a lot of healthy things you can eat that will facilitate the cleansing process. But we're going to recommend some specific products to help you cleanse. And then we're going to go into bringing the foods back into your diet. So then we're going to start creating the lifestyle changes through dietary changes, starting to bring activity in to start building your metabolism back up and raising your metabolism, and then we're going to get into the fitness end. So each month we're going to be focusing on something else. So we're going to focus on cleansing, we're going to focus on dietary changes and new habits, and we're going to focus on exercise and activity.
Well, and I know for myself that when I've worked with a group, and we're all kind of going through the same thing, and that, especially those emotions that pop up and those anger, when you stop stuffing the food, then you have to deal with what comes up. And I know for myself, it helps when I'm with a group versus just doing it on my own, because I don't have the strength. When those donuts or those cookies or that cake is yelling and screaming out at you, and it helps to be able to call a friend and say, hey, they're screaming at me. What can I do?
And we're also going to be in the cleanse program, and throughout the entire program, we're going to provide that emotional support, because you will be, whenever you cleanse internally, you have to cleanse out your emotions, mental thoughts come up that need to be let go of, and environmental things too, like cleaning out your pantry so that junk isn't there to be tempted by.
Well, and so, I know that I've spent, thousands and thousands of dollars on programs that, of course, like I said, I wrote a paper once that said, I've been battling weight for 40 years and I've lost the battle. And that's so true. And so we created a very affordable, exciting way for all of us to participate. And understand that Annette and I am also doing this together. So we're all in it together. It's not us sitting back telling you what to do. We're all in it together. So how's the program going to work?
So how the program works is you'll come in, we're going to recommend certain products that we know work. We know that they work. And so we're going to recommend those specific products because they will facilitate that cleanse. Like I said, there's different ways to cleanse. There's the Master Cleanse. There's cleansing systems you can buy at the Whole Foods markets and the health food stores. But they don't necessarily kill the candida. And so we really want to focus on that because that's a key part of lifestyle change. If you're not killing the stuff that's causing you to crave the sugars, then
you're battling.
Yeah, then you're more likely to go back to those same habits again. So we'll focus on the cleanse, and then we'll go into the dietary changes. And so how it works is the cost to do the program, or the investment to you, is $230 if you decide to use the products that we recommend, which
that they'll get the products.
Yeah,
the $230 you get the products. Yeah.
And if you choose to use your own products or your own cleansing protocol, then it'll be $175 to take the class. Either way, you're going to get the support for 3 months to get through the entire program. We'll be giving you exercise protocols. We'll be giving you ways to boost your metabolism, and you get the accountability and support. And that's the biggest part of the program.
Yeah. So, and where can you get that for, less than $250 to start? It is an amazing program. I'm excited about it, and I hope that you join us.
So what you need to do is you just need to go to the registration page, and then we will contact you and get you signed up for the products. And
we'll be on our way. So exactly. We're going to be doing a webinar. We'll have all of the information on the registration page. So just, click and go to the registration page to get all the information that you have. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact either myself or Annette. And what's your information, website or email?
You can email me, Annette, at AnnettePiper.com, and make sure you spell Piper P-I-E, just like the yummy dessert, which you're going to quit eating at least for 90 days, or at least for 30 days. But, it's about moderation. Once you get past that cleanse, we'll be working on moderation. So that's how you can contact me and Leesa.
It's Leesa at healthessentialist.com. So, and it's Leesa at healthessentialist.com. So we'll both we're here, we're excited, and we're going to do it. 2015, get your mojo back.
Yeah, can you imagine if you can, once you get past that 90 days, even the 30-day cleanse, what you can accomplish during the year, all the things that you could do when you have that energy back in your life that maybe, circumstances in your life, you've gone through depression, poor eating habits, it's just a great time to do it. 2015 is going to be a rocking year.
Yeah.
See you in the class.
Exactly.